Most people think emotional neglect only creates weakness. They think it leaves you broken, insecure, or behind in life. But psychology shows something very different. If you grew up feeling unseen, unheard, or emotionally unsupported, you didn't just survive. You adapted. You developed rare inner strengths most people never need to build. Today, we're exploring the hidden effect of emotional neglect and these 6 rare qualities it quietly creates inside you. And if you recognize yourself in these, there's nothing wrong with you. You were learning how to be strong long before anyone taught you how to be safe. Let's begin. Number 1. You developed deep emotional self-awareness. When your feelings weren't acknowledged growing up, you had no choice but to understand them on your own. You learned to sit with sadness, to analyze confusion, to make sense of anxiety without guidance. Psychology shows that people who lack emotional validation early in life often become highly self-reflective adults. You notice your moods. You question your reactions. You try to understand why you feel the way you do. While others avoid their emotions, you've been studying yours for years. You might overthink sometimes. You might replay conversations in your mind. But beneath that is emotional intelligence. You didn't get emotional support, so you became emotionally aware. That's not weakness. That's depth. Number 2. You learned radical independence. When no one consistently showed up for you emotionally, you stopped expecting rescue. You learned to handle things alone. Homework, stress, disappointment, fear. You figured it out. Research indicates that emotionally neglected children often become highly self-reliant adults. You don't panic easily. You don't fall apart when things go wrong. You adapt. People might call you strong without realizing how early you had to become that way. You're the one others lean on. The calm one in chaos. The steady one in crisis. And yes, sometimes you wish someone would take care of you. But your independence is proof that you survived when you had to. Number 3. You became highly observant of people. When emotional support is missing, you start watching instead of asking. You learn to read tone, body language, mood shifts. You notice when someone is upset before they say a word. Psychology suggests that children in emotionally uncertain environments often develop strong social perception because safety depended on awareness. So you learn to read rooms, to sense tension, to feel when something is off. That's why you're often the understanding one, the listener, the one who gets it. You don't just hear words. You feel emotions behind them. That's emotional radar, and it's rare. Number 4. You learn to find meaning in small moments. When big emotional support is missing, small things become important. A quiet compliment, a kind teacher, a friend who listened once, a song that understood you. You learn to treasure little signals of care. Research shows that people who experienced emotional neglect often develop deep appreciation for subtle connection. You notice beauty others miss. Sunlight through a window, a meaningful message, a peaceful walk. You don't need grand gestures to feel something real. You find depth in simplicity. That's not settling. That's sensitivity. Number 5. You build inner resilience. When comfort isn't guaranteed, you learn how to recover alone. You fall. You hurt. You heal. Without applause. Without validation. Psychology shows that moderate early adversity can lead to strong coping skills later in life. You've been practicing resilience your whole life. That's why you bounce back quietly. You don't dramatize pain. You process it privately. You grow silently. People don't see your battles. They only see your strength. But every scar taught you how to stand again. Number 6. You developed a deep desire to break the cycle. One of the most powerful effects of emotional neglect is awareness. You know what absence feels like. You know how silence hurts, how indifference wounds, how neglect stays in memory. So you choose differently. You listen more. You care deeper. You show up intentionally. Research suggests that many emotionally neglected adults become highly nurturing partners, parents, and friends. Because you refuse to pass on what hurt you. You create the emotional safety you never had. That's not accidental. That's courage. Now let's talk honestly for a moment. Emotional neglect still hurts. It can cause self-doubt, fear of asking for help, difficulty trusting closeness. Those struggles are real, but they do not define you. They explain you. You weren't too sensitive, you weren't too much. You weren't ungrateful. You were a child who needed emotional presence and didn't always receive it. And yet, look at what you became. Self-aware, independent, perceptive, appreciative, resilient, compassionate. These are rare qualities. Not everyone has them. They were shaped in you through difficulty, but they belong to you now. You are not damaged. You are deeply developed. And healing doesn't mean erasing your past. It means honoring how far you've come while giving yourself the care you deserved. So if this video felt personal, if you saw yourself in these words, know this: you are not alone. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are becoming. And if you'd like more calm, honest insights about personality, healing, and hidden strengths, subscribe to this channel. Because understanding yourself is the first step toward truly valuing yourself. And you deserve that.